Good afternoon. Um, I'm going to be giving 20-minute talk on mentoring. So as you will imagine, it's going to be rushed because when I do mentoring training, it takes days. Yeah. But I'm just going to share with us what is important. The focus actually is for how you and I, that God has given opportunity to have some experience, how we can also help in mentoring other people. I'm a GP, and also I have experience in mentoring. I'm one of the accredited mentors for Northwest Leadership Academy. I like this man's quote on mentoring. He says, we all carry the seed of greatness within us, but we need an image as a point of focus in order that they may sprout. If you, no matter how much you have planned, or you don't, if you have somebody who has achieved what your spirit and your soul will like to, and you walk with them, I tell you, you will realize your goal. Because there are people out there who have done things that you are thinking about. They have done it. I'll give us 3 examples. I've just come back from Nigeria yesterday, and I heard some story that made my heart glad. One concerns me. I met one of the chief nurses in UCH, who I will call my daughter, when she was in school of nursing. And she was telling me how I've encouraged her to become what she became. But then I rang another person who I haven't seen. She was a young girl when I saw her last. She's now married and everything. And I asked, what are you doing now? She said, you remember what you asked me to do? That's what I am now. And she's a big person there. I went with another doctor to a program, and he was saying, I want to see Professor so-so-so. And he was becoming irritating to us because he's just asking, I want to see. And we said, why? She said, when I finished medical school, I was working in a private practice in one corner in Nigeria. And this lady, she wasn't a professor then, she came and worked with her and said, do you know what? You could actually become better. Why don't you come and train in UCH? Now, today, she's one of the, in this country, in the UK, she's one of the top breast surgeons. That is why he insisted that I want to see this person, because he could remember what he was heading to and how somebody's just side comment influenced. I chose those 3 things because I'm going to talk about how we can be good mentors. Mentorship is a relationship in which somebody who is more experienced and more knowledgeable helps to guide a less experienced person. It's basically an opportunity that we provide for somebody to become who or what we are by guiding them. And mentoring itself is a learning relationship which helps people to take charge of their own development. See, when you're mentoring people, what you're doing is you're just creating fertile soil for somebody to actually become what they should become. And I'm going to share with us, because when I was given this topic, I was told it's aimed at 18 to 30. So I actually made a selection of 18 to 30 people and asked them about what they think would be the benefit of mentoring. And I'm going to share that with us. So it's a positive developmental partnership. You are in partnership with somebody that you are mentoring, and is aimed primarily at building capacity and self-reliance. And also, it is opportunity to offer them a space to reflect on their life, on their purpose. Because you can wander aimlessly in life, especially so at this current time that we're living in, where there are so many distractions. So many distractions. The purpose is to build and to support and to encourage people to manage their own learning in order that they might maximize their potential and develop their skills so that they can improve their own performance and at the end become who they want to be. And a mentor would be a friend. A mentor would be dependable, would be a guide, would be a challenger, and would be a role model. I went into that when we did this last year, so I just want to mention that. And when you're mentoring people, these are the components of what mentoring involves, okay? You're facilitating. You're not just bringing somebody and teaching them and holding their hand. That is different. When you're mentoring, you're just facilitating somebody to develop God-given gift in them which they haven't recognized or which they might have recognized. But you are also giving challenge. You are making them to sit up. A mentor will be somebody who will enable someone who otherwise wouldn't achieve to achieve. A mentor, like the case of the man I gave you, who was a doctor working in a private hospital in one corner in Nigeria, and somebody, and he thought he had arrived. But somebody said, I can see in you that you could go further than what you are. So you advise, you counsel, and you coach. Coaching is actually helping. Using coaching as a mentor will help you to actually teach some skills into people, either the way they present themselves, the way they report, the way they do stuff. And as a mentor, you create opportunity for networking. Because what you could do is that you can actually literally take the hand of somebody that you are mentoring and present them into the world where they would fly, because you gave them that opportunity. The mentoring cycle, when you want to do it, you can do it formally or informally. The one we do in the Northwest Leadership Academy is formal. My profile is on their website, and a mentee can look at that profile and say, well, I like this person, I want you to mentor me. And then we start by building rapport, because it's a mutual trust. And then we set ground rules and we set our goals. We put where we want to be. I'm talking about formal mentoring now. And then we come together depending on how often we want to do it. And then basically, you try something. If it doesn't work, you look at another way so that you can achieve the goal that you are looking at. A time comes when the person you are mentoring should be allowed to now become a mentor or move on. And then you can close your mentoring program officially or formally. But you can still carry on in life and become each other's friend. For people you are mentoring, I've majored on the benefit of mentoring on the people you are mentoring. You have opportunity of building relationship, okay? And for us as a group that is so uniquely blessed, we have the opportunity of creating relationship with our 18 to 30s, especially. But even amongst ourselves, you don't have to necessarily be 18 to 30 before you can be mentored. But it creates opportunity for you to have relationship. It creates networking opportunity. It's providing trusted support. Okay? Somebody who you can always count on and say, this person is there for me. And it also enables you to develop your career. Okay? If you have a mentor who is in the same career with you, and they are helping you to say, actually, if you do this, this is where you can be. Or have you considered trying this? Why don't you apply for this? And I have, personally, I have a lot of examples of people that you have just mentioned something to and say, have you looked at this opportunity? And when they look at the opportunity today, they're big people in that area because somebody has helped them. You provide guidance, and we all need guidance, especially at a younger age group. You need guidance. There are many things that appeal to people, but mentoring will give you opportunity of guidance. And it also is an opportunity for you to transfer or to acquire knowledge and skills. You could help somebody to develop themselves in the area of even presentation, to talk to people, to present their case. It's a good thing that you can learn from mentoring, and it enables social and emotional development. I don't know how I'm doing for time, but I just want to put this in place. These are the things that the 18 to 30s I interviewed told me. They think the benefit of mentoring is help to generate an attitude of dedication and help to shape a reliable person. You see, these days, I tell my children, and we do argue on this, or maybe I should use the word debate it strongly in my house, that the generation of millennia have it easy, and they disagree with me. But I know they have it easy, even if they disagree with me. Because, and it started when my first daughter was 8 years old. I was preparing her for school. And I was waiting, I've got myself ready. I was waiting to drop her in school on my way to work. And she wasn't ready. And so in anger, I said, look, in my time, I trekked 3.5 miles to school. She said it's not possible. I actually had to literally take her to my house in Nigeria and the school I attended. And we drove. Okay. And she thought, wow, they have it easy. They have things easy. And it is us who have had things difficult, who knew what it means, what you have. We have our children sometimes, not mine, but some of our children sometimes we think you have that Nigerian mentality. But that Nigerian mentality is what made you become what you are, and is what is helping them to become what they will become. So you need to help them to generate that attitude. They said it creates the opportunity for networking and connection within their particular field. It helps to grow and develop a friendly relationship in which each party mutually benefits. This relationship has the potential to open doors for the mentee and allow for mentor to impart their wisdom and experiences. They also said it helps one to learn how to relate well, which are things that are important in workplace. I tell my daughters, you may have a lot of knowledge, but you have to be streetwise. Okay? I am streetwise because I grow up in an environment where I have to fend for myself. Nobody takes me to school. Nobody took me to go and register for A-levels. Nobody took me to university when I went there. Now I'm going to cancel my clinic on the 6th to go with my daughter to go and look at the university. Nobody did that for me. But, okay, we're doing that, and a mentor will help people to actually acquire such things. They also said it helped to maintain discipline and boundaries. And today's world, boundaries are becoming blunting and blunting. And we just need somebody, we need to help others to know how they can know what that boundary is and how they can discipline themselves. They want to learn from someone else's wealth of experience and get a clearer direction. it will be good to have someone rooting for me. Okay? So you can hear what they're saying. Somebody rooting for me that I can be accountable to, and a form of safe haven to have someone to look up to. You can see there are many more things they said. Those are just the extract from what they told me. You can see that there is a real need for mentoring in our community, and I'm referring to this community. I'm rounding up now. Fortunately, and to God's glory, we have lots of great resources amongst us. I've told part of my story. There are other interesting stories. I learned that when Prof was 60, there was great inspiring story about his life. And what we need to do is not to waste those experiences. And the best way we can give that is to really take up this challenge to be mentor. It would take our time, it would take our effort, it probably will take our resources, but it will change somebody's life. And I want to be that person who somebody will get to a place and say, I'm looking for this person. I want to see this person because I am what I am today by what they said. And I would challenge us to take that. Thank you.
My question is on mentoring. I think it was quite a brilliant talk, but I think I'm a bit concerned. What is the next step? Because if it is tailored to 18 to 30, and of course we have that within OFNC, what is the strategy to be able to deploy this experience to those age group within us?
What this is supposed to generate is interest in people who can be ready for mentoring. We have a plan to train those who want to be mentored so that we can do it the right way. So if you are interested in mentoring, see Bro Nosa or myself, and we will set up a training program.
On that? Just basically to say that obviously he's talked about career mentoring, which is very important for the 18 to 30s, so apart from other factors. But there are other levels of mentoring that we are also designing. Many of you, maybe peri-retirement, or people even in early marriages, people, young couples that want to become and are getting married or in early marriage. So there are different levels. So we said we'll try and move forward with that at this time, in this particular time with Professor Durodola. I mean, we started the early part of it in my time, but we'll not move forward.
Advancement. Good afternoon. Question for Uncle Abel. So, practically mentoring, how are we going to make that work in the sense of not just within the 18s, 30s, or even within the men's fellowship, but as disciples of Christ, because that's what Christ has called us to do. So I think, practically, what would that look like, even in terms of discipleship?
I want to be a disciple that disciple other people. And mentoring is a great example. Paul says, follow my example as I follow the example of Christ. So practically, I think for those of us who have the gift of God and the blessing of God upon our lives, we should make ourselves available to invest in other people. And currently, I've just been reminded that one of my roles in OFNC is I'm head of mission, discipleship, and evangelism. So please, if you are ready, and the other thing is not for mentors alone. People should be willing to be mentored. So you should submit yourself. You should, and the example I gave, sometimes mentors will come to you and say, well, I can see something in you. But sometimes you need to go to somebody and say, look, I have seen some things in your life that I would like to be like. And they will be willing to do that.